strings go through those holes and keep your shoes around your feet.
Those are called shoelaces.
Oh, my head's gonna fall off.
I have something called chapstick, Huell. Would you like to see this?
Hang on, if you don't mind, I'm going to unscrew my head, put it on the ground, and jump up and down on it, because there's no way I can express my excitement. It looks like a tube of wax, and you put it on your lip.
I have found the Holy Grail. Would you like to see that?
In a minute. Chapstick. Explain again.
Right, he has one mode.
It's a stick of chaps.
But Huell, this is where the Dead Sea Scrolls are kept.
That is wonderful. I couldn't help noticing that cowboy is wearing leather pants with no back in them.
Right, well, that's Tuesday night at Mr. Fister, Huell. All right, let's get back.
Where?
Let's get back to the game film. This is Huell, I think, who's visiting the giant walk-through colon.
Let's pull that thing out.
You got it.
I've seen this before, up close and personal, but they gave me an amnesia drug. I was awake and talking, but I don't remember any of it.
Now, see that?
I see.
You know what?
Huell recounting his time in Catholic school.
Wait, is this a true story? Because I know there is such a drug, and when you get a colonoscopy, maybe they give it to you.
Yeah, it's called a roofie and a camping trip.
Exactly.
This, by the way, like Dana was talking about the comedic version of the layup. This is past the layup.
Yeah, there's nothing to do here.
This is the NBA All-Star game when there's a minute left on the clock. You're ahead by 47 points. I'm Kobe Bryant, and I've just stolen the ball on a fast break. I'm going to dunk, but I decide instead to dish off. You know what I mean?
You might as well.
I kind of feel like
I actually start the dunk and then underhand it to LeBron, who then does the five-slamma-jamma.
The game doesn't count.
Right. Otherwise, because if you just go straight off it, you're doing when Dave Coulier on Full House would do Pee Wee Herman.
Bullwinkle.
Yeah, it's like he'd do like Pee Wee Herman. He'd go, no. Pee Wee Herman doesn't need your help.
Right.
Pee Wee Herman's funny.
Tomorrow's guest, by the way.
Do something else. Oh, is Paul on tomorrow?
No, Coulier.
Oh, Coulier?
Yeah.
Thanks for making fun of it.
Yeah.
No, you don't need to. That's funny on its own.
Right.
Change it up.
Right. All right, so let's hear our next Huell Howser clip.
Molly and I are inside the colon, and we've just barely started our journey, but we're going to stop here because these are the first little signs we've come to. Tell us what we're looking at here.
Uh-oh.
Who's Molly?
I am guessing that the colon has been adorned with some sort of polyps or something. This is a cautionary colon.
Oh,
they
gotta
never
be.
bring you a good colon.
Yeah.
No.
They always bring goofus.
Right. This is a colon that's been eating a lot of fried food, that hasn't been getting its rectal
Hasn't been checked.
exams.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or as one of Peter Allen's roadies. Thank you.
Yes.
He's been dead for 20 years, by the way.
Still works.
Yes, this colon has been yoked out a little bit, as we used to say in
Go
the
see-
construct. Huell, we've made it to the midway point of the colon. What are your thoughts thus far? I'm speaking to you,
Oh,
Huell.
I'm sorry. I thought we were going to the clip.
He was overrun by the chapstick.
So, yeah, Huell, you're inside with Molly, and I'm sure you love Molly.
Again, Molly is one of these, I'm just, again, as I've said, been aware of this, like a rounded, soft boy.
That's called a female, Huell.
Again, astounding to me. Half the population.
But Huell, surely you've been out in places, like you've gone to a bar and had a cocktail and seen plenty of ladies.
I've never seen one of these women in
Like
a
Huell
bar,
Howser.
oddly enough, of the bar. And I go to a lot of bars. I go to Rafters.
Right.
I go to the Toolkit.
Yeah.
I go to
The Pendulum.
The Pendulum. I go to the Iron Fist and the Leather Fist. I go to so many bars.
Yeah, no women.
You've never seen
No, in fact, I went to a thrust night at Logjam. There must have been 7,000 people there. Not one of these, quote, women that you described.
So I just find it, I'm a man in his 50s, has
I
gone
have
through life.
traveled the globe. I have been from the intersection of Santa Monica and Crescent Heights, and I've gone all the way to the intersection of Santa Monica and Doheny. I am a man of the world.
But I think I have a way to make it
And
clear
I
to
have
Huell.
never seen one of
Yes.
those.
I think I've got a way to get through to Huell on this. Your mother is a woman, and you came out of her vagina.
I was going to say that, Huell.
Your mother
Clearly you
has
have
a vagina.
You must
Here's
have some
what
memory.
I just heard. Your mother.
But Huell,
You must be close.
evidently your mother was not as nurturing as many mothers are, but surely you remember your mother.
Oh, when you say mother, I think of the tall pointing person.
Oh.
She would just point.
So she shamed you, Huell.
So much shame. For years, as a child, when I would pee,
Yeah.
I would have to hold for an hour afterwards what we called in the Howser household the shame torch.
Oh.
And it was an actual burning collection of wood that we would have to hold outside so the neighbors would know that our
That you
bodies
peed.
failed us.
This is bringing...
And we had to...
Yes, this is brought into sharp relief.
Oh, now I understand.
Huell and...
Yeah, no
That
wonder the colon must be a very difficult field trip for him.
Well, I
Here's
feel
the
like it's a
strange thing.
sanctuary. It's a place to hide for him.
Well,
He
I
would
think,
go to the
like-
colon to hide.
It's a safe place.
Right, that's
And
right.
I'm going to tell you a little something about my mother that no one knows.
Yeah.
Because, like all good sons, that when my mother died, I kept her in the house and kept her in her favorite chair and moved her on up to the attic.
Well, no, Huell, that's not...
If you go up there now,
She's there?
she smells like apples.
Wait a minute. Huell, I know... You can't just cover someone in paraffin and put them in the attic and keep them...
Au contraire.
No, Huell, this is not a fitting tribute to the woman.
Oh, no,
that she-
because I know what you're going to say, like what that county supervisor said. If you love your mother so much, you'll throw her in a hole in the ground. No, that's what we do. To poop.
Huell, I know there's issues. And I know there's unfinished business
So
with
here's
mother.
what I learned about county supervisors.
Yeah.
They're given state-issued cars, and if they don't float in a lagoon.
Oh, Huell, please
They've
tell
gotta
me.
be weighed down.
You did not pull a Chappaquiddick on the county
Just
supervisor.
because he wouldn't let you keep your mom in the attic?
Well, they said I figured I would put rocks in the trunk, but there's a county supervisor in the trunk, so I had to put him in the back seat.
Huell, this
Bags
is a
of
very,
rocks.
very, very dark. This is much darker than the middle of that giant colon.
I didn't have bags to put the rocks in.
I
But
understand.
Who has a canvas bag?
It seems
A
odd,
mailman. But he's in a Jeep with no doors, so the mailman's dead. I have his bag. I'm loading it with rocks and putting it in the county supervisor's car, but now I've got to sink a postal Jeep.
Huell, you're...
When did
Wow.
they take the doors off those cars? Because if you load a postal Jeep full of rocks and wheel it into a lagoon, don't put it right
Huell,
where the
this
county
is-
supervisor's car was, because they're not going to sink.
This
This
is
body
taking
count
a
is-
turn
yeah.
for the macabre.
Too dead.
Huell, your father, is he still with us? And what does he think of this?
Funny story about my dad. I had a problem with my father, and like a lot of problems between fathers and sons, you have two choices. You can sit down and talk about it, or you can duct tape them into a bed, cover them with mice, and let 7 owls into the room.
No, Huell, no.
Was this when you were a child or after you'd grown up?
It was... I started it as a child and ended the day as a man.
He should...
That's all I can say. One
Huell,
thing about owls,
I feel...
they peck and peck and peck.
Okay, Huell, you were sent into a shame spiral that turned
by
you
Mom.
into a monster. And you need to talk to somebody about this before more lives
Yeah,
are
Adam,
lost.
I'm concerned about
The
some of the...
county keeps sending people out to the house.
Well, I'm concerned about the people the county sends over. I'm concerned about some of the gentlemen that Huell meets at the Iron Fist with Mom looking, down from the attic, smelling of apples.
Huell, when you bring a friend home from Mr. Pfister, does it ever bother you that Mom is literally hovering just feet above you, casting judgment on whatever transpires.
Right. I mean, are you
below
holding
her.
the shame torch emotionally?
Mom is in the attic watching Quincy.
You put Quincy on a loop?
I put Quincy on a loop because the thing that I love about Quincy is Sam will tell Quincy that the man had a heart attack, but Quincy knows it's murder.
That's in Act 1 when his Asian assistant tells him.
Yeah, Quincy always knows that there was a crime. And then...
Do you let her watch other programs or stories?
I'll bring home a fella, and then I will have I have a lapse, and then I will realize what I did wrong.
An amnesia type thing.
Well, I own a lot of ceramic jugs. They're very heavy and they break quick. And if you have soft ground in the back, it's easy to dispose of people. And let me tell you what that does. Let me just cut to the quick.
Okay.
I brought you all some tomatoes.
Thank you.
That I grew.
They look beautiful. I mean,
These are the biggest, reddest tomatoes I've ever seen in my life.
Let me tell you about the phosphorus in the soil behind my home.
these have been fertilized with dead one-night stands?
Huell, I feel like you... Huell then, when he's done tending to his garden, goes back into the house and paints clowns on horses.
Thanks to the ever-emerging advancements in digital technology and some browbeaten sap remembering to push the record button on an old cassette deck. This has been an Adam Carolla Show radio replay on KLSX Los Angeles, 97.1 Free FM.